Hey guys, in this video we'll be installing our 12 volt AC unit that we purchased directly from a manufacturer. There are a few options for 12 volt AC units on the market, however they are all at least $4,000. So we talked to a manufacturer and had one that operates at about the same efficiency as the Nomadic Cooling units. And after shipping and everything, it only cost us around $1,300. So this is what the unit looks like from inside the van. This is what would be inside of the van. You have your control panel. It also comes with a remote control. You have your vents. It operates as a standard fan. It has eco mode and it has its full operation. With our 300 amp hours of lithium battery, we will be able to power this for over 3 hours with no issues. We'll also have our batteries connected to shore power if we need it, though we will mostly be off grid, and that's also why we wanted a 12 volt and not a 120 volt. We will also have our batteries connected to our alternator, which will also help power this. It also came with this cover. However, we decided it's just so big and clunky that we are going to design our own framing for this unit.
So we're just going to talk some brief installation. We'll kind of go over the more in-depth stuff when we're actually doing it. But so initially it comes with this very large, like a 23 by 33 gasket. And obviously it's going to go around just like this so you get an appropriate seal, so no leakage. I think normally this unit calls for like an 11 by 18 hole, but we've came up with another way to do it that will work just as good. We're going to do a generic 14 by 14 entry hole, just as you would with any other AC on the market and or your max air fans as well. So we're going to have our 14 by 14 hole. We'll be able to slide this induction down into that. And then the 4 mounting bolts, we're going to have just drilled into the roof and sealed, obviously. And then use these mounting brackets that will slide over like this to actually compress it to the roof so that way it doesn't go anywhere. And for the 14 by 14 hole that we're going to be cutting, we want to use one of these metal files to smooth around the edges and also most likely paint where we cut as well, just to make sure that it's a finished surface so it doesn't eventually rust and things like that. And for, I guess, some of the sealing of, sealing, however you want to say it, that we're going to use to make sure that there's no leaking. Initially, I'm sure if you have a ProMaster or any other van, there's always some sort of grooves on the roof. It's never a flat surface. So what we're going to do to fill in those grooves is we're going to use beetle tape, and that's going to go under this gasket, so that way the gasket has a flat surface to sit on. We're going to use this ProFlex RV also to go around the edge of the gasket and underneath the gasket to provide additional sealing. And another cool thing about this unit is it comes with all of the necessary wiring that you're going to need to get it up and running. What we're going to do with this, because it does not funnel in through the same induct that this will be funneled in through, we actually bought a waterproof cable entry gland, as you can see here. There we go. This is how we're going to run the cabling down into the van to our power bank. And initially it does come with an inline fuse, so that way you don't go burning the place down. But we ended up buying an inline circuit breaker that Nomadic Cooling typically recommends for their units. And this is powered, this is using about the same specs as Nomadic Cooling, so we also grabbed one of those. And that'll be good because it's more of a breaker than a fuse, so if it somehow did happen to trip, we wouldn't have to replace it. We would just re-engage the breaker and we'd be good to go again. So that is what we'll be replacing here. So now that we've kind of gone over everything and what we're going to be using, how we're going to be doing it, let's get into the install.
converting your van?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Can't go on the road.
That's the room.
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome.
All right, so we're gonna get our wires that are coming down from the AC crimped with these copper lugs. We're going to use copper lug crimpers. They are adjustable. It goes from, I think, 8 AUG all the way down to 1 aught. So it's got a pretty wide range. Someone wants to play. We are gonna use it for this 6 gauge AC wire. This is gonna be going from the circuit breaker for the AC to the bus bar. And I'm just gonna use this one as an example. But here's our lugs, and let's crimp it. So we got our wire stripped down about, I don't know, half an inch or so, maybe a little more. Just enough to be able to put all this on here and not have any real extra wire showing, any strands on here. It's perfect. Like a glove, you want to make sure it's not too loose, not too tight. You don't want any of these strands crimping up bird caging. And this is a perfect fit. And what you're gonna do is you put it in sideways, right in between. Got it in. There we go, nice crimp. And now we're gonna hit the other side. Flip it around. And there we are. Nice and crimped, not going anywhere. It's a new day, but I just went over, from what you're seeing, how we were using the crimpers to get all the different connectors and whatnot on our AC wiring. I got like really eager and forgot to actually film me putting it all together. So I'm just gonna give you a little run through kind of the setup that we got for the AC to work, because it works now. So yeah, we got our AC positive negative running down. We have 2 butt connectors to extend it right here, crimped on. I had some heat shrink just on here for whenever we get a some more butane for our little torch, but crimped on there nice and neat. This is 6-gauge wiring, and so we had to get 6-gauge butt connectors. It's run through under the wheel well, comes into here. This is our 100 amp circuit breaker for the AC. So we got the positive running into here, running out to the bus bar, and then the negative is running to the negative bus bar. And it's honestly just as simple as that. But yeah, want to see it run?
So you have to turn on the
Gotta turn on the battery. But anyway, want to see it run? Ta-da! We have an AC. On the camera, like, these little numbers look like they're twinkling, but they don't actually twinkle. That's just the camera picking it up. But yeah, it works. Power up, power down. This is just this is fan mode, so you can turn it to max. You can turn it to eco. How do I set it to AC? I can't remember. You have nice cold air, which is amazing.
We have already talked to a couple other people and also got them on the bandwagon of this unit. But I just did want to mention that if we did have the $4,000 to spend on a Nomadic unit, we totally would. Overall, that's probably the better unit to go with. But this is a really great alternative option that we were able to find so that we can provide air conditioning to our dog while we're away, and we're really big on warm climates, so this is a really great option instead of just having the 2 max air fans. So just wanted to give that disclaimer. Overall, like, totally go with the Nomadic if you can, but if you can't afford it, there is another option. So we hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one.
Said I gotta run away, get away now. Too many games and they all trying to play out. Too many people and they all start to change now. Let me take a bet, they gon' know my name now.